Man, this is fun. Having the opportunity to be here at the SEC Network for 3 hours, speaking, looking at the LSU Pro Day, being on set, with Peter, Jordan, and Roman. It was just an awesome, awesome field today.
They could have used a Patrick Peterson last year. I mean, that defense was terrible.
That it was, and I think we might have found one in Kenny Pickett, number one defensive back out of Florida last year. He's already there right now. He's going to be playing in the spring game here pretty soon. So I think we found one. So Blake, with the defense that he want to be able to call, defensive coordinator Coach Blake, with the defense that he want to call, he needs guys that's able to erase receivers down the field, and I believe we got a couple right now.
Obviously, you spent a lot of your time on the other part of the country, but once you play at LSU, I guess you never lose that gravity to campus, do you?
No. I had the opportunity not only spend 3 years there, but met my wife there, had the opportunity to build our beautiful family, the culture, the food, the atmosphere. Is really nothing like Death Valley and playing in a night game in Baton Rouge.
I mean, you played during an amazing time, and I think so many people, have forgotten because LSU's had these moments in time with Saban, obviously, when you were there briefly afterwards with the whole Joe Burrow, but there have been some wild swings at that school. Do you feel like Coach Kelly maybe is about to make that charge to keep some consistency down there?
Yeah, I think in the past it was mainly quarterback play. We couldn't find consistent enough quarterback play. I don't know if we couldn't find consistent enough quarterback play or we didn't have the trust in our quarterback play, because we always had the athlete and the talent to be able to beat anyone. But we were so afraid to push the envelope and push the ball down the field. With LSU now, having a Heisman Trophy winning last year, the year before last. Year before last with
Jay. Got him quickly.
I know with Jaden Daniels, and then what Nussmeier was able to do last year in the latter part of the year is definitely giving me some promise on what this team can be in the 2025 season.
Going back to your time, you got there right after they won a national championship. I've always somewhat given that credit to Nick Saban for having recruited most
you
of
have
us.
to.
But I mean, the years you were there, I mean, LSU was always in it. I mean, they were really never not in it.
Right.
But it just, I don't know, Les Miles or something always went wrong.
Yeah, it was just Coach Miles, man. He's an offensive lineman at heart, so he wants to run the football and show his physicality. And I just felt like there were times that we needed to pass the ball or we needed to catch the team on their heels. And the best thing that he did do, in my opinion, was not only motivate us, but catch teams off surprise with the trick plays, with the fake field goals, with the going forward on fourth down. I believe that was one of his best attributes because he always knew when to pull the plug on those trick plays. But for the most part, I just felt like we were so gun-shy of throwing the football. And I believe you needed to do that, especially when I came into the college playing field. Just running the football 40, 50 times, that was back in the 90s, 80s. Now this is the 2010s. We need to throw the football.
I can't tell you how many times I've been interviewed on one of these SEC or ESPN retrospects, and I brought you up, and I feel like it's only I joked with you off the air. But I was in the press box at Auburn in 2010. It was an epic game, LSU, and Cam Newton was emerging. And I don't remember. I mean, I've seen video of it, but here you are, the best defensive player in America, and I can't remember if he's coming right at you or
yeah, he was coming right at me. Then he kind of like cut because someone came and blocked me, and then I kind of had to gather myself and jump on his back.
But it was one of the most amazing plays I've ever seen from an offensive, and obviously we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, you would see Cam Newton many more times after that. But it was that moment in time where I kept telling people, how did Patrick Peterson not get this guy? And I never realized you were blocked on the play.
Yeah,
I just thought Cam just. I don't think that was possible for a guy like. I mean, you were pretty fast.
Yeah, now Cam, man, and like you said, that was his Superman moment, man. That game, I believe it was.
That won him the Heisman.
Yeah, it was like week 7.
Yeah,
it was in the middle of the year, because our offense couldn't sniff a first down that game. and we still miraculously almost won.
Oh,
that
yeah. No,
game.
you were, I mean, your defense was elite.
So, but that was definitely Cam Newton's Superman game. And I remember that play like it was yesterday. He took me for a ride in the end zone, and he scored. Yeah, he did. And that's not one I like bringing back up.
But it was the moment, though, Patrick, that, I mean, I'm sitting there going, I mean, Cam Newton was good, but he went from, being a contender for maybe second-team All-SEC to winning the Heisman Trophy in a matter of seconds.
That's very true, because he had a couple games, but there was like, all right, can he do it more against a top 5 opponent? Because I believe at that time we was top 6.
Yeah, no,
we was top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn was undefeated, but not being taken that seriously.
Exactly. So, like you said, when he won that game and had that performance that he had, that pretty much won him the Heisman that year. Because who was second to him that year?
Let's see.
Trying to think of that year. My junior year.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I do remember they beat Oregon.
Yep, in the championship.
Okay, we got the play here. Tell us what happened.
Here we go.
That's Cam running. Where are you?
I'm coming back there. So I was getting blocked by the receiver, and I tried to make a play on the last. I'm up top. I think that's me up top.
Okay.
Yes. So I was up top, and the receivers start to see him moving.
He made so many plays on, many moves on that one. Okay, I'm going to apologize to you for all those ESPN classic moments when I've said he completely. I never knew you were blocked.
No, it's all good. But that game was just so electrifying, top from bottom. I caught an interception like right before halftime, had a big kick return that got called back. That was just a phenomenal game, top to bottom.
I mean, you did it all.
Yeah.
And
I did, Paul.
So, I mean, did Les ever think maybe I could use him on offense a couple of times a game?
Man, we used to beg Coach Miles about that almost every single week. Like, man, just give me a jet sweep, because at this time, teams stopped kicking the ball to me at punt return and kickoffs. So coaches, the officer, the punt return coach, cannot think of his DJ McCarthy. He was like, man, we got to find another way to get him the ball, because they're not getting him the ball, and it's the best, offense that we have, thus far this season, and never pulled the plug. I wanted to, man.
It could have been Travis Hunter.
I know, man. I wanted to, man. Trust me. That's why I hit the poles when I scored against West Virginia in week 3.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, what was? I mean, you were lightning fast.
Yeah. I ran a 4.3. I think a 4.34 at the combine. Something like that, Paul.
So let me talk to you about. I mean, you had an amazing career. You did pretty much everything there was to do. What are you doing now?
I'm trying to be where you are right now. I'm trying to be, talking football.
I got some. I'm gonna have somewhere to go. You got to show the rest of the hour.
I just want to, stay in the space. Be around, good people, learn from good people, but also be a knowledgeable resource for an everyday football fan. Because I lived that life. I was, in the locker room for 13 years in NFL. 3 years in college, 2 years in high school. You know what I mean? So I live that life, and I want to be able to give the everyday football fan the best insight that they feel that can enhance their football knowledge.
And I think that's what makes players like you so unique, because, I mean, guys like me can ask good questions, but I'm not going to be able to put someone in the locker room out there against the best quarterback in football, trying to figure out a way to stop it.
Right, or what even goes on in a week-to-week basis, or how are you handling things when you lose, or if you're getting beat in the game, like the mindset. Like that's what I want. It
didn't happen very often, but I mean, is that the loneliest feeling in the world when you're on an island with a wide receiver?
It is. That's the loneliest feeling in the world, especially if you give up a touchdown and then you got 80,000 people in the crowd, and you have another 5 million watching. All eyes on you. Then that's why.
Is there a good way just to walk away? I mean, you don't want to call any more attention to yourself.
For me, when things like that happen, I couldn't wait to get back out on the football field to get that bad taste out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Because I'm a competitor. You know, I always want to put forward my best foot and my best effort. You know, anytime I step out on the football field. You know, so if someone did get the best of me, you better be sure that I'm coming for some get back.
Well, I mean, I think that's what really is the defining line in all sports. How do you recover from a mistake? Do you double down on it, make 2 mistakes, or do you recover? And
For me, yeah, just recover. I mean, sometimes I do double down and make a mistake. You know what I mean? Off the mistake that I just
it's hard.
previously
The
made.
emotions are pretty high.
Right. But then again, I have to find a way to get myself back grounded. You know, it may take me a couple plays. It may take me 1 play. You know, you just never know. So, but I felt like I always did a good job of putting the bad play, not only the bad plays, all plays behind me. Because guess what? I have another play to play. And that play can maybe cost me the game or be a big momentum shifter in the ball game.
Well, listen, all I do at this place is I push buttons. They don't ask me, but I think you'll be great on TV.
I appreciate that, Paul.
Where you decide to go.